Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and as you can see I am here outside and it's about to rain, and I'm super glad that I'm going to try this new smartphone that I got. So this is Xiaomi Mi 10T. So basically I will just going to use this smartphone in vlogging, and let's see if what's its performance when it comes to video stabilization and the quality of the video. So by the way, I'm just using the front camera. There's no 4K in front camera, so this is just 1080p 30 frames per second. As you can see in the video, it is kinda overexposed, so maybe meron lang factor yung light. Actually I am against the light, so let's try to rotate if ganun pa din ba. So ito guys, hindi na siya against the light. So I think the quality of the video is better. This is the audio. I am just using the internal audio of this smartphone. And I think it is just okay because wala masyadong ingay dito. Hindi mahangin this time. But we will go to some other parts na medyo busy, like the public market. The main reason why I got this camera because of the convenience. Kasi I already have some other cameras like the Sony a6400, then yung Sony WX500, then meron din akong Filmipalm gimbal camera, pero hindi siya masyadong convenient in my part, especially if yung mga vlogs is unplanned. You go to a specific location, then gusto mo mag-vlog pero wala kang camera. This smartphone is a better option. Magpasensya nyo nga, medyo maingay sa part na ito dahil maraming mga sasakyan na dumadaan, but I think that's just a part of this review. If okay ba yung audio quality kapag masyadong maingay sa paligid. And I have so many consideration in choosing this smartphone. I also try to see the specs of some other brands ng phone and ask some expert kung ano bang okay na phone. Okay guys, so I'm here now at the second location. So by the way, ulitin ko lang, itong front camera has two options for its resolution. So it has 720 30 frames per second, then yung isa is 1080p 30 frames per second. So itong 1080p 30 frames per second has this EIS, or the electronic image stabilization. So as you can see when I walk, so stabilize yung video niya. And now let's try the back camera. Okay guys, so for the back camera I am using mainly the 4K 30 frames per second because it has EIS. But if you want to choose the 1080p 30 frames per second, meron siyang EIS, then yung steady video. So the steady video is just only exclusive for the 1080p 30 frames per second. So aside from those resolution, meron itong 7020 30 fps, and it has also 1080p 60 fps, then merong 4K 60 fps. So let's try the 1080p 60 fps if okay ba siya, pero wala siyang image stabilization. So this is the 1080p 60 fps. I personally like this 60 fps kasi smooth lang yung transition, but the bad thing is wala siyang EIS for this kind of resolution. Then if you want to try the 4K 60 fps, so still the same, wala siyang EIS or yung image stabilization. Then I cannot enable also the steady video, so medyo shaky yung register niya dito sa camera natin, but the quality is, I think, okay. It's very clear. And by the way guys, this phone is capable of shooting in 8K, but it has a limitation when it comes to recording video. Siguro nasa 6 minutes lang, so hindi ako masyadong sure, and that is just only the limitation for 8K recording. And I think it is not that practical to record 8K kasi yung ibang mga gadgets hindi masyadong nakakapag-play ng 8K resolution ng video. So far so good. So yung napansin ko lang is medyo overexposed, pero I think nandun lang yan sa setting, or maybe our location or the condition of lighting now is too bright. So that's why medyo overexposed yung register natin dito sa camera. But when it comes to video stabilizations, I think I'm super satisfied with the result. So this is front camera, so medyo overexposed dun sa likod. So this is 1080p 30 fps with EIS. Yan. So as compared to my Sony a6400, so obviously this is better in terms of handling video stabilization. Kahit na may OIS yung Sony, pero hindi pa rin siya kasing ganda nito. Yan. So dito medyo hindi na siya overexposed. So sometimes you need to check also the lighting, kung proper ba siya or hindi ba siya ma-overexpose. Similar in capturing some photos na dapat hindi ka against the light. So yan. And I think based on my observation, it's very clear. So I'm really satisfied with this camera, which is the Xiaomi Mi NT. So as you can see, very responsive naman. So walang problema dun sa pag-focus ng object. Then pabalik, this one. Sometimes you just need to move the object para ma-focus siya ng mabilisan. Okay guys, so at this point we will now go to the public market nang sa ganun ma-check natin yung pagsagap ng noise. kapag masyadong maingay yung paligid. this point, I'm recording 4K 30 FPS. Same pa din yung resolution kanina dun sa my Polomolok Pet Empire, then dun sa Pineapple Fields. This is 1080p, 30 frames per second. So ito lang yung pinakamataas na resolution for this front camera. So I'm going now to the gate. Kasi dito sa public market namin, yung entrance is parang isa lang. Then yung exit, meron ding designated area for the exit. So hindi ka pwedeng papasok dun sa kahit saang gate lang na gusto mo. So you need to follow their rules. Kasi chine-check nila yung mga CCTS. Then dapat naka-face shield, pero at this point wala akong face shield. Okay guys, so andito na ako sa loob ng public market. So as you can see, medyo maingay. So what can you observe about my audio quality? Magpili ko te.
Pila sir? Pila? Ate Agnes! Pila niyo? 140.
Tara lang.
Kalamansi.
By the way, kagagaling ko lang dun sa public market. I already finished buying all those ingredients na kailangan namin mamaya for the dinner. So by the way, malapit ako sa National Highway and obviously masyadong maingay din. And I hope my audio is still good, and aside from that, merong ingay galing sa mga aso. So when it comes to overall performance, I can say that I am so satisfied with this phone. And at least I know some issues na pwedeng mangyari so that in my next videos I could handle it already. So when it comes to video stabilization, it is so good. Maraming mga options when it comes to resolution. And yung downside lang niya is you cannot take a good video na merong stabilization in 1080p 60 fps and 4K 60 fps. But other than that, maganda yung phone. I'm very satisfied and wala akong regrets na nabili ko to. Yun nga, sinabi ko kanina, it is more of convenience and what if merong mga unplanned vlogs. So therefore, I could use it directly as my equipment for vlogging. Okay guys, so I hope you learned something from this video. So by the way, if you're new to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Click the bell button for notification with comment, suggestions, or recommendations. You may write in the comment section below. Okay, so see you in my next video. Bye-bye!